My name is Alexandra Bennett. I'm 42 years old, and I'm about to tell you the story of how my family stole my identity for 25 years, what I went through because of it, and what happened when I finally found the proof. I was 17 years old when my parents sat me down in the kitchen. It was a warm summer evening. The sun was setting. The birds were singing. It was beautiful. My mother was crying. My father was serious. "Alexandra," my mother said, "we need to talk to you about something important." I said, "What is it, Mom?" She said, "We need your help. We're having some financial problems. We need to use your name for a few things. Just for a little while. We'll fix it later." My father said, "Alexandra, it's just temporary. We need to get through this rough patch. As soon as things get better, we'll fix everything. We promise." I was young. I was naive. I trusted them. I believed them. I said, "Okay, I'll help you." They smiled. They hugged me. They said I was the best daughter anyone could ever have. I trusted my parents. I trusted them completely. I believed everything they told me. They opened credit cards in my name. They said, "Alexandra, this is a joint account. We'll pay the bills. You don't have to do anything." They took out loans in my name. They said, "Alexandra, this is for the family. We need the money. We'll pay it back. You don't have to worry." They bought a house in my name. They said, "Alexandra, this is an investment. It's for your future. It's for your security. We're doing this for you." I believed them. I trusted them. I thought they were doing what was best for me. I didn't know they were destroying my future. I didn't know they were stealing my identity. I didn't know they were ruining my life. For 25 years, they used my name. For 25 years, they destroyed my credit. For 25 years, they ruined my future. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know they were stealing my identity. I didn't know they were destroying my life. I went to college. I graduated. I got a job. I got married. I had children. I lived my life. I didn't apply for credit. I didn't need it. I had everything I needed. I had a good job. I had a good life. I had everything. I didn't know my credit was destroyed. I didn't know my future was ruined. I didn't know my life was a lie. I was 42 years old when I found out the truth. I was trying to buy a house. I was excited. I was happy. I was finally going to have my own home. I went to the bank. I applied for a mortgage. The bank manager looked at me. He said, "Mrs. Bennett, I'm sorry. You have a terrible credit score. You have no credit history. You have nothing." I said, "What are you talking about? I've never used credit. I've never taken out loans. I've never bought anything on credit." He said, "Mrs. Bennett, I have your credit report here. There are 15 credit cards in your name. There are 8 loans in your name. There is a house in your name. And all of them are in default. You owe over $500,000. I was shocked. I was devastated. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I said, "I didn't do any of this. I didn't open any of these accounts. I didn't take out any of these loans. I didn't buy a house." He said, "Mrs. Bennett, someone used your identity. Someone used your name. Someone stole your identity." I started to investigate. I started to find out what had happened to me. I went to the bank. I got copies of all the accounts. I got copies of all the loans. I got copies of everything. I looked at the signatures. They were my parents' signatures. They had signed my name. They had forged my signature. They had stolen my identity. I went to the credit bureau. I got copies of my credit report. I saw everything. I saw the 15 credit cards. I saw the 8 loans. I saw the house. I saw everything. I saw that my parents had taken out credit cards in my name when I was 17. I saw that they had taken out loans in my name when I was 18. I saw that they had bought a house in my name when I was 19. I saw that they had never paid anything. I saw that they had defaulted on everything. I saw that they had destroyed my credit. I went to the police. I filed a report. I said, "My parents stole my identity. They used my name. They destroyed my credit. They ruined my future." The police investigated. They found evidence. They found proof. They found everything. They arrested my parents. They charged them with identity theft. They charged them with fraud. They charged them with everything. My parents went to court. I was there. I testified. I told the truth. I told the jury everything they had done. The jury found them guilty. They were sentenced to 10 years in prison. I was 43 years old when I met Mr. Thompson. He was a bank manager who had worked at the bank where my parents opened all the accounts. He was 70 years old. He was retired. He had been a bank manager for 40 years. He said, "Alexandra, I know you. I remember you. I remember your parents. I remember everything." I said, "Mr. Thompson, I need to ask you something. Did you know what my parents were doing? Did you know they were stealing my identity?" He said, "Alexandra, I've been waiting for you to ask that question. I've been waiting for 25 years. He reached into his drawer. He pulled out a file. It was thick. It was full of papers. It was full of everything. He said, "Alexandra, I have a file on your parents. I have a file on everything they did. I've been keeping it for 25 years. I wanted someone to know the truth." I opened the file. I started reading. I couldn't stop. The file was thick. It was full of papers. It was full of everything. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. June 12, 1998. Open credit card in daughter's name. Amount: $5,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. August 15, 1998. Open credit card in daughter's name. Amount: $10,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. October 20th, 1998. Open loan in daughter's name. Amount: $25,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. February 10th, 1999. Bought house in daughter's name. Amount: $150,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. May 5th, 2000. Opened credit card in daughter's name. Amount: $15,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. September 12th, 2001. Open loan in daughter's name. Amount: $30,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. December 1st, 2002. Opened credit card in daughter's name. Amount: $20,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. March 15th, 2004. Open loan in daughter's name. Amount: $40,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. August 22nd, 2006. Open credit card in daughter's name. Amount: $25,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. November 10th, 2008. Open loan in daughter's name. Amount: $50,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. July 15th, 2010. Opened credit card in daughter's name. Amount: $30,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. February 25th, 2012. Open loan in daughter's name. Amount: $60,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. September 3rd, 2014. Opened credit card in daughter's name. Amount: $35,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. December 20th, 2016. Open loan in daughter's name. Amount: $70,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. April 15th, 2018. Open credit card in daughter's name. Amount: $40,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. October 5th, 2019. Open loan in daughter's name. Amount: $80,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. May 10th, 2021. Open credit card in daughter's name. Amount: $45,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. Mr. and Mrs. Bennett. June 30th, 2022. Open loan in daughter's name. Amount: $100,000. Has been used for personal expenses. The parents have not made any payments. I read the entire file. I cried. I couldn't stop crying. I realized everything. My parents had stolen my identity for 25 years. They had opened 15 credit cards in my name. They had taken out 8 loans in my name. They had bought a house in my name. They had destroyed my credit. They had ruined my future. I called Mr. Thompson. I said, "Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me what was happening?" He said, "I didn't know how. I didn't want to hurt you. I didn't think you were ready. But I think now you are." I said, "Mr. Thompson, thank you. Thank you for keeping the file. Thank you for telling me the truth." I went to visit my parents in prison. It was the first time I had seen them in 2 years. They were old. They were tired. They were defeated. My mother said, "Alexandra, I'm sorry. I know I made a mistake. I know I was wrong. I know I should have been better." I said, "Mom, you didn't make a mistake. You made a choice. You chose to steal my identity. You chose to destroy my future. You chose to ruin my life. You did all of this on purpose." My father said, "Alexandra, I know we did something terrible. We should have asked you. We should have told you. We should have done things differently." I said, "Dad, you had 25 years to ask me. You had 25 years to tell me. You had 25 years to do things differently. But you didn't. You just kept taking. You just kept stealing. You just kept destroying." My mother started to cry. She said, "Alexandra, I know I did something terrible. I know I hurt you. I know I destroyed your life. But I was desperate. I was scared. I didn't know what else to do." I said, "Mom, you could have asked for help. You could have gone to a financial advisor. You could have done so many things. But instead, you stole from me. You stole my name. You stole my life. You stole everything." I never spoke to my parents again. I never visited them again. I never wanted to see them again. They served their prison time. They were released. They were old. They were broken. They had nothing. I was 45 years old. I had no credit. I had no savings. I had no future. But I had something else. I had the truth. I had the proof. I had everything. I started to rebuild my life. I started to rebuild my credit. I started to rebuild my future. It took 10 years. It took everything I had. It took my youth. It took my money. It took my sanity. But I did it. I got a good credit score. I got a good job. I got a good life. I got everything I ever wanted. I never went back to my family. I never saw them again. I never wanted to. If you've ever had your identity stolen by someone you trusted, I want you to hear something. You didn't deserve what happened to you. You didn't deserve to be used. You didn't deserve to be manipulated. You didn't deserve to be taken advantage of. You deserve to have your own identity. You deserve to have your own future. You deserve to have your own life. My name is Alexandra Bennett. I'm 42 years old. My parents stole my identity for 25 years. And I'm still standing. If this story made you feel something, drop a comment below. Tell me the word that describes what you feel. Share this video with someone who needs to hear they're not alone. Subscribe for more stories like this. Thank you for listening to mine.